Hello everyone! Sa video ito, ang pag-uusapan natin ay ang French Benefit Tax. And for our reference, as always, itong book ni Sir Rex P. Banggawan, CPA, MBA. Yung title ng book niya ay Income Taxation, Laws, Principles, and Application. Okay. So, yung topic natin uli ay tungkol sa French Benefit Tax. So, firstly, alamin muna natin ano nga ba yung French Benefit. So, ang French benefit class, isa siyang employee benefit kagaya ng compensation na nagmumula sa isang employee-employer relationship. Kung natatandaan nyo, yung compensation income or yung compensation, isa siyang remuneration na natatanggap ni employee regularly mula sa kanyang employer kapalit yung kanyang regular na pagtatrabaho kay employer. So, sa madaling sabi, ang compensation, ito yung natatanggap ni employee na basic pay niya o kaya sweldo or sahod. Yung French benefit naman, on the other hand, ito ay ang mga benefits o kaya incentives na natatanggap ni employee from his or her employer aside sa kanyang basic pay or bukod sa kanyang sweldo or sahod. And it can be in the form of goods, services, or other benefits. Ang tax treatment naman ng French benefits ay nakadepende kung ano ang nature ng benefit at kung paano ito binibigay sa employee. So, kapag ang French benefit ay fixed ang amount, regular na binibigay at kasama siya sa payroll kada sweldo, ito ay kinoconsider na regular compensation income and it is subject to the income tax. Kapag ang benefit naman ay hindi fixed, meaning nagbabago yung amount niya depende sa performance ng employee o kaya depende sa performance ng company. Nakadepende kaya sa sales output, sa productivity, company profits, o kaya kung na-achieve ba ni company yung targets. So, ito ay tinatawag na supplemental compensation. And this is still treated as taxable compensation income. Kapag naman yung French benefits ay in the form of incentives, these are considered as 13th month pay and other benefits kagaya ng mga Christmas bonus, year-end bonus, ganyan. So these are exempt from tax up to the 90,000 pesos ceiling. Then kapag ang French benefit naman ay ibinigay for employer's convenience or necessity, meaning parang sa business, para siya sa business operations o kailangan para magawa ni employee ang trabaho niya, ito ay tax exempt. And as far as taxation is concerned, meron lang tayong dalawang klase ng empleyado, and these are the rank and file employees and the managerial and supervisory employees. Yung rank and file employees, these are the employees na walang capacity, walang kakayahan na mag-recommend or mag-hire or mag-fire ng mga empleyado. Yung and managerial and supervisory employees naman, sila yung may say sa company, sila yung may kaya na mag-recommend, sila yung may kaya na mag-hire o kaya mag-fire ng empleyado. As the French benefits naman, yung mga natatanggap ni rank and file employees, they are treated as part of the 13th month pay and other benefits. And these are tax exempt as long as hindi siya lalagpas ng 90,000 peso ceiling. Yung French benefits naman na natatanggap ng managerial and supervisory employees, ito ay subject to French benefit tax. And needless to say, pero sasabihin ko pa rin anyway, no, na yung French benefit tax ay taxable, ay applicable sa mga taxable French benefits. And usually, yung naapektuhan ng French benefit tax ay yung mga natatanggap na French benefits ng supervisory and managerial employees. Okay, so general categories of French benefits subject to final tax. So number one, management perquisite benefits, or you may also call that as management perks. So, ito yung mga special privileges o kaya mga luxuries na binibigay sa managers or executive officials ng company dahil sa kanilang position sa kumpanya. Like for example, club memberships, company car for their personal use, free housing o kaya condominium, ganon. Second one, employee personal expenses shouldered by the employer. So, very clear yan. Ito yung mga personal expenses ng employee na binayaran ng kanyang employer. So normally, 'di ba, yung personal expenses, syempre personal obligation yan empleyado. Pero kapag sa employer yung nagbabayad, ito ay nagiging fringe benefit. Number three, taxable de minimis benefits. So, de minimis benefits, they are taxable if, ayan, letter A, they exceed their limits, and letter B, if they are not included in the de minimis list. We have here an illustration. So, Mr. Lakewood, a managerial expatriate employee, was granted by his employer a 30,000 monthly housing allowance in addition to his regular salary. So, the actual monthly rent of Mr. Lakewood's residence is only 25,000 pesos. So, ito ay isang example ng employee personal expense na sinasagot ni employer or shoulder ni employer. So here, only the 25,000 pesos, which is the actual amount of monthly rent, ang treated as French benefit na subject sa French benefit tax. Kasi yung 5,000 pesos na excess, 'di ba kasi 30,000 yung binibigay ng employer tapos yung actual monthly rent is only 25,000. So merong excess na 5,000. So yung excess, it's going to be treated as taxable additional compensation income kay employee. Okay. Now, proceed tayo sa hybrid expenses. So, in case of hybrid expenses, meaning to say, ito ay mga expenses which is partly for business and then partly for the French benefit of the employee. So, yun, no? Partly for business and then partly for the incentive or French benefit ni employee. So, in that case, only the 50% lamang ng expense ay magiging employee incentive or magiging French benefit ni employee. Kasi yung other 50% isa siyang business expense. Okay, here are some instances of hybrid expenses. So, number one, kapag sa employer nag-rent ng residential unit para gamitin ng kanyang employees at para din sa business, yung rental expense doon ay hahatiin. So, half of it will be business expense, yung para sa business, and then the other half ay isang French benefit ng empleyado. Another example, number two, allowing employee free use of business property. So, kapag ganito na hinayaan ng employer na gamitin ng employee yung kanyang business properties, yung rental value or depreciation value ng business property over the period of usage is deemed half ng business expense and then half din ng French benefit ng employee. So, half-half lang. Okay, so now proceed tayo sa mga exempt French benefits. So, ito yung mga French benefits that are exempt from the French benefit tax. So, number one dyan ay yung French benefits which are authorized and exempted from tax under special laws. So, examples of this ay yung employer contribution to SSS, PhilHealth, HDMF, Pag-ibig, ganyan. Pero take note lang na yung contribution dapat hindi siya lalampas sa amount of contribution set by the law. Halimbawa, si Pag-ibig, yung Pag-ibig contribution, yung mandated contribution employer for Pag-ibig is 200 pesos per month per employee. So, to be exempt from the French benefit tax, dapat yung 200 pesos lang yung ibabayad dapat ng employer. Hindi pwedeng sobra dun sa 200 pesos. Number two, benefits required by the nature of or necessary to the trade, business, or profession of the employer. So, ito yung benefits na kailangan talaga para magawa ng employee yung trabaho niya. Halimbawa, binibigyan siya ng laptop para sa trabaho niya sa office, safety gear para sa mga nagtatrabaho sa construction. So, yung mga ganyan. So, those are needed for the business to operate and for the employees to function sa kanilang trabaho. So, therefore, hindi siya subject to the French benefit tax. Number three, benefits given for the convenience or advantage of the employer. So, dito naman, ang pangunahing nakapag-benefit dito ay ang employer, hindi yung employee. So the benefit is there kasi mas convenient ito para sa company operations or para sa business operations. So halimbawa, scholarship program para kay employee para madagdagan yung kaalaman niya para ma-apply niya sa business soon. So usually pag ganito si employee may contract yan to remain in the company for a number of years after accomplishing the studies. So another example, car incentive para sa traveling salesman. So, kailangan yan ni salesman para makapagpunta-punta kung saan siya trabaho or ano, makapagbenta, ganyan. Another one, sasakyan for medical doctors para makapag-duty sila anytime. So those are examples for benefits given for the convenience or advantage of the employer. So tandaan nyo lamang basta yung benefit or yung French benefit ay mas pabor kay employer, ito ay usually exempt from the French benefit tax. Number 4, contributions of the employer for the benefit of the employee to retirement, insurance, and hospitalization benefits. Okay, hindi na natin i-discuss yan. Clear yan. Okay. Number 5, benefits given to rank and file employees, whether or not granted under the collective bargaining agreement. So usually naman yung French benefit tax, nag-a-apply lang yan sa mga French benefits ng managerial and supervisory employees and hindi sa mga rank and file employees. Though pwedeng maging subject to the normal compensation tax, depende sa benefit, but definitely hindi sa French benefit tax. Again, usually yung French benefit tax, this applies to the French benefits received by the managerial and supervisory employees. Number 6, de minimis benefits within their legal limits. So kung natatandaan nyo, meron tayong list of de minimis benefits, di ba? And then, may kanya-kanyang ceiling yung mga benefits na yon. So kapag sumobra sa ceiling amount, yung excess ay magiging other French benefit. And it will be subject to the French benefit tax kapag yung employee na nakatanggap ay isang managerial or supervisory employee. But if yung employee naman ay isang rank and file, it will be part of the 13th month pay and other benefits na exempt from tax up to the 90,000 pesos ceiling. Ayan. So, eto naman yung list or listahan ng mga usual French benefits. So, I want to make it clear lang ha, na hindi lang ito yung pwedeng maibigay na French benefit ng employer. There can be a lot of French benefits, pero etong nasa list, ito yung usual na French benefit. Okay? Number 1, housing benefits. Number 2, expense accounts. 3, vehicles of any kind for household personnel such as maid, drivers, or others. 5, interest for the difference between the market rate and the actual interest granted. 6, membership fees, dues and other expenses borne by the employer for the employee in social and athletic clubs or other similar organizations. 7, expenses for foreign travel. 8, holiday and vacation expenses. 9, educational assistance to the employee or his dependents. 10, life or health and other non-life insurance premiums or similar accounts in excess of what the law allows. So, yun yung mga halimbawa ng French benefits. So, we will be discussing those items sa mga susunod na videos. For now, proceed muna tayo sa characteristics ng French benefits tax. Okay, characteristic of French benefits. Number 1, it is a final tax. So, French benefit tax is a final tax which is withheld by the employer at source. So, hindi na kailangan ni employee na i-report yung natanggap niya na French benefit sa kanyang income tax return kasi si employer na yung bahalang magbayad or bahalang mag-remit ng French benefit tax sa BIR. Number 2, it is a tax upon the French benefits of managerial or supervisory employees. So this means that the French benefits applies only to managerial and supervisory employees regardless of the identity of the employer, maging sole proprietor man, partnership, or corporation man yung employer. So hindi ito applicable sa rank and file employee. Ha? Again, yung French benefit tax, this is a tax upon the French benefits of the managerial or supervisory employees. Kasi yung rank and file employees, saan yun? Ilalodge yun sa 13th month pay and other benefits. And that is subject to the 90,000 pesos ceiling. So, yun yung sa rank and file. Number three, paid by the employer. Kasi nga yung French benefit tax ay isang final tax, so si employer ang nagwi-withhold ng tax, and siya din yung nagre-remit or magbabayad ng tax sa BIR. Number four, gross up tax. So this is because yung value ng benefit ay kailangan mo pang i-convert into grossed up monetary value before applying the tax. Pero you're gonna meet this one kapag magko-compute na tayo ng fresh benefit tax. So hang on lang. We'll get there. Number five, it is due quarterly. So this is all about the deadline of filing. So this is due on or before the last day of the month following the quarter in which the withholding is made. And that's all for the part one of our discussion of French benefit tax.